I'm Teresa Casey. I've been in sales for over 15 years, running my own business for the last 7, and I am here to help more venue owners and managers make more money and ultimately quit their 9-to-5 if they have one and live the life that they dreamed of when they originally opened that venue. So let's dive into it. The trend I want to talk about today is one that I think follows the same idea as Airbnb. If you haven't heard, Airbnb has gone through a very large slowdown in recent years. Part of that could be economy, but I think another part of it is that individuals are just really sick of staying at Airbnbs. Why? Because it's not actually cheaper, and all the work that you have to do takes away the hospitality experience that so many individuals love when they go on vacation. And because of that, individuals have started staying at hotels more often instead of Airbnb. One woman ended up going viral on TikTok because she talked to the audience about why her Airbnb wasn't booked. It was a beautiful spot in the mountains of Tennessee, and for whatever reason this year, she wasn't able to book the space. And all of the response that she got were because people were sick and tired of having to do all of the things that are normally taken care of when you stay in a hotel. And not only that, you're getting charged more for a cleaning fee and you're still doing all of your own cleaning. The same thing has started going around different venue circles, and I think that it is a terrible prediction of what the venue space could end up looking like. I've even heard that venue owners have started asking their clients to bring their own soap. Now, I can understand because whenever you're in any sort of forward-facing industry where you're conversing and working with an in-person client, and particularly a group of individuals all at once, it is a recipe for customer service disaster. And it's very possible that you're going to have far more inconvenience during an event than you are a smooth sailing experience. And that's just part of the game. When we go to a hotel, you don't hear about all of the trashed rooms, the damages, all of the things that they have to go through as a hotel, but they still deal with it. They still provide you with different amenities, different perks, and they want to create a really good hospitality experience. Now, because of this, I could see the whole venue industry moving in one of two directions. Either one, the venues that are hearing these trends of, oh, I'm telling individuals that they have to bring their own toilet paper, that they have to bring their own hand towels, that they have to bag and take out their garbage themselves. All of those things because, one, they think in their mind it saves them money. 2, they think it will make the client more accountable for how they treat the venue in general. But clearly that isn't the case with Airbnb. Why would it be for a very similar hospitality industry that is the venue space? What I think could instead happen is you end up devaluing your business. You start having to give higher discounts and you end up wondering why you're not making any more money, even though you've tried to make things easier on yourself. Now, this is where perceived value comes in. If you haven't heard of perceived value before, it's the idea when we encounter something, we're going to automatically in our mind come up with a value of how much we think that thing or that service is worth. And the great balance that we have to figure out as business owners is how much value can I give to my client without costing myself a large amount of revenue or profit. Things like your soap, your trash and trash bags, your hand towels, your toilet paper, those are honestly things that are not going to make a massive dent in your checkbook if you're creating a really nice perceived value of your venue space. You don't have to be the most beautiful, renovated, sleek, modern, minimalistic venue in order to charge higher prices. But what you can do is implement some small tweaks to your business in order to create a higher perceived value and then charge more. Think about it this way. Can you imagine cutting out all of the little amenities like the toilet paper, the paper towels, etc., and you end up giving your clients a $1,000 discount because you want to book more events and you think that If you're cheaper, you might as well make the experience cheaper. You may be converting a higher number of your tours to booked events. However, what are those booked event clients like? They're going to expect that this is a cheap experience, and they're going to treat your space that way too, because they believe, and that perceived value is that this space isn't good enough to provide me with the basic necessities, so I'm not necessarily going to treat it like it is the best. However, if you create a perceived value that you are high end, that you are a quote unquote 5-star venue, even if your space is somewhat dated, you are going to create a perceived value that people are more willing to pay a higher cost because they feel like they're getting the value from it. Consumers everywhere purchase based on perceived value. That's the reason that there are brand junkies that will only purchase from a specific brand. You may think that this is the best thing on earth, when in reality, what is inside that beautiful packaging is the exact same as the non-name brand version that's next to it and is $3 or $4 cheaper. But this is why people invest in their brand and invest in their experience, so they can charge the high dollar amount. Your cost in time and resources in putting in the extras in order to make sure that your experience and your venue is perceived as higher quality and more luxurious is going to cost you far less than cutting out different amenities from your venue and hoping that you make more money even though you're charging less. Here's what I would encourage you to do, even if right now you don't offer those little things like soap, like paper towels, and heaven forbid, like toilet paper. I would encourage you to take a look at the different tiny areas that you could add perceived value and add it there. One way that's an easy thing to implement is to ensure that your space smells great. Now, you can purchase really high quality commercial grade diffusers for your space, or you can go as simple as just putting in a Glade plugin. Is this going to be the most effective for a larger space? Not necessarily, but it'll do the job. You can add really beautifully smelling soap to your restrooms. You can have, instead of just brown paper towels, maybe consider adding hand towels during your tours, where an individual has to use an actual towel and put it in a basket to be laundered versus into a trash can. Those small pieces differentiate a venue that is of high perceived value versus low. Do you have some beautiful ambient music going on in the background that you might experience when you walk into a really nice hotel, or are your guests met with pure silence? What you're looking for here is to differentiate yourself from the competition, increase your perceived value so that you can charge more, even if it's $500 more per event. What would that do to change your business? Would an additional $500 to $1,000 more when you book an event make an impact on your business this year? My guess is that it would. So when you're tempted to shortcut the amenities in your venue and overall take away from the experience that you're giving your clients, all you're really doing is hurting yourself. You're not looking at the future of your business and how this could impact things in the long run. Really, what you're doing is taking shortcuts while running your business and its reputation closer to the ground. Ultimately, what I can say is don't follow Airbnb. Don't follow the trends of I'm going to cut here and there. Continue to keep your business top notch, and I promise the revenue will follow. If you're struggling, like many venues, to book enough events in order to make ends meet, you find yourself having to work extra jobs and you just love to quit your 9-to-5 in order to really invest in your venue business, consider downloading my free tour checklist. This is something that will give you ideas on how to give a fantastic tour that's going to differentiate you from all of the competition to the point where your guests will only remember you and that they would be stupid to book anywhere else. Like and subscribe for more content that will help your venue make more money.